Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to Timberborn. I'm Lavender Mama, and this is the Lavender Tower. Now, this truly unique map, I think, is going to be quite a bit of a challenge for us. How do you think we can do? Well, let's jump in. All right, so in the last episode, we were working here on the dam area and all of our water storage, which has meant that we are up to over 8,000 water available to store. But we did run into one problem. As we were dynamiting this out, we realized this never actually opened in the whole entire last episode. Other than when we first had it and it first came through, we first filled it up, we did not get this open at all. We have it set at close above contamination of 5%. And according to the stream gauge here, we were bobbling between 6 and 8%. So we've got a couple of options. We can close this off as a route for our beavers to walk through and then allow that 6 to 8% contaminated water to come into here. And then this water would not be available for us to use for things like the showers or swimming pools or anything like that, which was kind of the thought process for some of this area. Put pumps in and also have those convenience items in for the beavers. So we kind of have to make a decision. Do we do that? I don't know what the contamination level has to be to make it so that a beaver can't use it, but I suppose we could experiment by just throwing a shower in here and seeing what happens. We could just put one like right here and then see how it went once we had that in there. I mean, we do have a considerable amount of water in there right now, that we could just throw a pump in and start our thought. We were going to put pumps off of here, so we were trying to get this done or taken down so that we could do that. So why don't we go ahead and get started. We are on cycle 13, day 9. We currently have 58 adult beavers, 5 baby beavers, and we have 9 empty beds. We have 16 jobs that are unaccounted for. And it looks like we have a couple of ill or injured beavers. Just injured, not ill. Building lacks material. What building lacks material? The fermenter. We're out of fermented cassava. I also want to look at thinking about what we're going to do to get our water extended over here into the farmland, but that's going to require some tunnels, and we at this point do not have a centrifuge, which probably should be the next building we aim for. We did get the engine up and running over here, and so that is going. We don't have quite enough power output from the water wheels at the moment to cover everything we've got running. Let's see here. What's off here? The smelter. We don't need it right now. We have 144 metal blocks in stock, but if we start doing some other things, we probably will run into some power issues. All right, how are we looking food-wise? We've got our 2 food factories that are pumping out corn rations and eggplants. Food is still not super great. So that's why I'm thinking we need to be thinking about what we can do here to extend that. I wish we could filter out decent water here. That would make life so much easier. We also need to, in the next time this dries up, go ahead and put a sluice in here and see if we can't, since we don't have beavers going into this water, I think we could get away with a low contamination water coming into here without killing our crops. But this might be a higher contamination level than what we should probably do that with. because it is pretty contaminated. We've got the three. Well, I guess this one's going off. Oh, you know what? I didn't even notice that this one is going off into the hinter here. It looks like it's coming down here and coming out here. Interesting. Because if we do some of the work that we're planning up here, it's going to cut off some of these water streams. And we will need a new place for us to get our bad water. Because like this one is coming from over this way and coming down. This one looks like it's coming from here. And this one is coming from here. And all of those are, well, that one and this one are part of our power setup. So if we start blocking those off, we're going to see a reduction in our power, which is fine. This one right here is dropping and going down around and coming here and then dropping into our main water source. We are attempting to get over to here to just make that one go this way. But we could conceivably, maybe we take that one and turn it into a bit of power generation. I'm not 100% certain what we want to do there. If we just block that, it will stop it from falling here, and then that will ease some of the contamination. We are right now still in contaminated water, even though our map shows us as being mostly clear. It is not. All right. I'm assuming construction lacks material. That's going to be all of our dynamite. Yeah. Because we are literally using it as fast as we make it. One explosives factory is apparently not enough for us. Why has this guy stopped working? It has no logs. Oh, let's get that prioritized. Okay. In the interest of being able to link up a couple more engines over here, I think we need to deal with a little bit more of our wood. We don't have great wood. I mean, come on, we only have 3 logs, our 300 logs with our 2 little areas of lumber. So I'm thinking we got all this lumber up here, and it clearly shows that we can grow up here without major contamination. So I'm thinking we come up here, we throw in a forester and some lumberjacks and some stairwells into these different areas, and we get them growing and harvesting in this area. I think that might be a really good thing to do, and that would up our wood considerably. We'd be able to get some storage in up here so that they don't have to go so far, that sort of thing. But first we have to get there. So let's come over here to our ladder stack that's over here, and I think we can just do an offshoot of this guy. Let's go ahead and get ourselves in a view that's a little bit easier to handle. That did not do what I wanted it to do. There we go. All right, so we've got a bad water source coming down through there. Our whole little group of trees that actually are hydrated right here are sitting on top of a well of bad water. Well, the well of water, I should say. So we do have that consideration as well, that they may get contaminated if that gets too much of a bad water source in there, but we can kind of see from where the trees currently are that that's not as significant as it looks. This is good water, right? That is good water. So it's got to be coming down from the top. I still don't see, this is all bad water right here. And that's feeding into our, well, it's not all bad water. It is a 25% contamination on that guy. So it is a rather high, I don't know what it is up here. It looks like it's probably higher because this is being fed by our fresh water here. So it is something to think about. All right, let's see here. Can we, I want to be able to see. This also is the same route over into this area, but I don't think we can realistically do much over here right now until we figure out some of this other stuff. This is coming down from the top where we've got the mix. I still haven't mapped all of these. I'd like to get into here. We've got mines in there. I know this is a long rambling kind of thing. All right. So I'm thinking, I know, shocking, that what if we got some tubeways going? If we look at the tubeways, science-wise, we're a little light to get them done. But if we stuck a two-way station in here, let's see here. If we put it, oh, there's a tree there. That's why it won't let me do it. Yeah, that's the only thing actually blocking that. Where do we want to start this though? Because we need a two-way station down here, right? Maybe we put it like, I don't want to block the access to where we can put tubes in. And the thing is, that area is not going to be good for, but we can put in multiples. We can put in multiple tubeways. I wish I had thought about this and gotten a tiny tubeway, the tiny tubeway thingy. Let's do it like that. All right. So now we actually need like a lot more science. If we just do the, oh, not you again. Not you again. We don't want you. I think I say that every single time we have one. We need gears, planks, and metal blocks for that. And if we're gonna start with the tubeways, they all require a lot of metal blocks. So we probably need to turn the smelter back on. I'm thinking, whoosh. Okay, because we only have 136 in storage at the moment. We actually could take this out and throw another engine right in here. That's gonna cut our power for a minute though, so if we do that, we need to be like Johnny on the spot with it. We might just leave it and just add another engine over here. So let's see here. If we've got that going on, then we need to... Oh, we have to have the vertical ones in order to come up. So if we were to come up... Not enough science. Okay. We don't have enough beavers. For everything we're currently working on. We don't have anyone in there. We don't have anyone in there. They are working on that. I'm gonna take that to neutral, see if we can't get somebody in there. We have 8 beavers that are builders, so we could conceivably we could conceivably kick a couple of these builders out. We only have 4 dedicated haulers. And honestly, at the moment, because this is already all bad water that's coming down on us, we don't really have a problem. This actually, I think, was just starting to get a little better. Yeah, it came down to 18%. All right, so we're gonna need to start here in a minute filling this up and getting this all shut up so that we don't have an issue. I'm gonna take this all the way to the top. Honestly, why we built all these pumps over here kind of been not very useful because we've got so many over here. I suppose we could just take some of these guys out, but we do have some level of water available here almost all the time, so it's kind of one of these catch-22s. Now, if anyone has great knowledge of the deep mechanical pump, you could tell me, does it filter the water? And if we put one here, would it filter the contamination out and just put the fresh water into here? Because we could use one of those to fill our reservoir with. But I don't know anything about the deep mechanical pump other than it requires 700 power. So we would have to like either have a dedicated engine for that or some other way to power that. I wonder if water wheels right in here would be enough to power that. Probably. I didn't even think about sticking some water wheels in there, but that would work. Could we put in a large water wheel here? No, because it is huge. But I think we probably could get away with a couple of small ones. If we did like 1, 2... Oh, yeah, it looks like we could do... Could we do 3? 3? 3? Can I have 3? We could. We could fit 3 in there. And I'm betting that would be... Let's take the priority on those down. Our poor little builder beavers don't have much to do. Oh, we need another dynamite in there. Before we blow that level. We also need this one in here before we can blow that level. This could all get done. All right, we have 1 day until that bad tide comes to kick our butt. Let's see, are all of these pumps actually running? Yes, they are. All right, let's go ahead and, since this is gonna take us a minute to deal with, let's go ahead and just put in a path here. And let's get our beavers over here and get some of this taken care of. Let's go ahead and stick a ladder in here. We'll also do one here, and I think probably here, kind of keep them in line and get some pathing connected. And let's come up a couple layers, and can we get straight through here? We can. Oh, there's a hole there. Let's not send our beavers into a hole. Probably wouldn't be a good plan. And let's get another ladder in here, and we'll start in this kind of area. Let's go ahead and throw in. And I think for right now we'll do, seems like a little bit of a lot, but it's fine. We're getting those ladders built. We are going to set a cut radius here, or a cut, let's get like all of this for the moment. Probably gonna need to, oopsies, completely wrong area. Probably gonna need to like come up a little bit and do some in there. All right, we are at 0.2 days. I'm gonna hit pause. I'm going to come in here and I am going to pre-close some of this stuff up. And I need to get to a level where I can actually see. So let's get into here. Yeah, that gets us. We are going to go ahead and we are going to close these. Then we are going to take this to 100%. Very good, very nice. We need to come down just a little bit. We are going to kind of... Oh, we got no water in there at all right now. That's strange. Why did that happen? Did we wait too late? We might have waited too late. Oh. Because that one was... Why was it at 90%? Well, that's great. Because that's going to slam shut on us in a second. Ooh, thank you, game. Well, that kind of sucks. There is some water in there. It did fill up. There we go. That's completely full, so let's go ahead and close that then. A little bit of flooding in there. And if we look at that, that should mean that that guy is completely full now as well. This is all full in here. All beautimous. Let's go ahead and whoosh. That's 100%. That's 100%. You are 100%. Everybody is 100%, so let's go to 2 times. Actually, let's go to 3 times. That was a bit of a game jog there. All right. We're probably gonna end up with, wow, they're getting those power wheels in there quick. This we need to take down. I want that to flush that bad water as fast as possible out of there. I don't want us to hold it in there and contaminate all this land. So we'll make it go away right quick. This guy should pop on once that gets lower. All right. Beautimous. absolutely beautimous. I am thinking, see, like this is still, that's contamination of 17%. We're starting to clear up a little, which is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Okay, what's it? Okay, not great. It's like 280-ish, maybe a little less. 230 is it gonna settle at? I don't know what it's gonna settle at, but see, now that contamination is dropping because we're starting to get the main well of water that was up there. And yes, right here, we need to come into here and I think remove the ground or put in, well, I don't want to do impermeable floors because that kind of defeats the purpose. Remove this and put in levees underneath of there so that the contamination doesn't spread to here. Because every time we kill our pine trees. Hmm. 16%. That seems to be the lowest we've gotten so far. There's our power down here. Looking okay. We're still meeting our demand. But we are going to make that worse because we need a centrifuge. 600 science. We're going to unlock that. Alrighty. Got that in, so let's take that guy out and go ahead and put the next one in. Centrifuge would help with this a ton. 15%. Because we have beavers running through the water here, I don't want to just cancel that out and make this lower, even though this water looks good. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what they can handle, and I don't want to end up contaminating a bunch of beavers because we're running through this water. If that makes sense. It looks like it should be okay to me. I suppose one way we could find out we can be all ghetto about this. Let's high prioritize that. See, if that shower is blocked by bad water, then we cannot release it into here. This is 15%. Yep. Right there, blocked by bad water. So what does the, you know what, we're gonna leave it there and we're gonna watch it. We're gonna see what does this have to drop to for this to be usable. And once this is usable, then we'll know what percentage we could put this at without causing a problem. I know. Probably not the easiest way to go about it, but it works. We just have one more dynamite to come in here. All right, next up. Let's see here. Did we get that? Ooh, look at there. Two-way station. My very first two-way station is up and running. But I just used all my science for the centrifuge. We need the vertical. So we need 600 science. All of our scientists are running full bore. Why don't we go ahead and throw a couple more in? Where shall we do that? I know you're probably shouting, why don't you just put in a number cruncher? Because of the power. Because of the power. If we do, well, in the science, the power isn't so great, but the science is great. Let's go ahead and we shall put another inventor right here. Let's go like that and throw two more in and get them a path. All right, and then let's come up and see how we're doing on our pathway to the lumber, which I think we're probably complete with now. They just haven't gotten these too far from district and cannot be reached. Wait a second. Huh. I don't understand why it doesn't just automatically assume that this is a path. Why do you have to physically put a path on top of the ladder to get it to connect to the path? That makes absolutely no sense to me. All right. We are going to, I'm thinking what we do is get a forester in here as well. So let's see where we need to put that. We might need to put a couple in order to see where we can get to. Let's go ahead and throw another ladder in right here. And we will go ahead and just automatically place that top piece so that it let's come up another level. We probably need another ladder up a little higher in order to make this viable. And I want to keep it on the land that is contaminated. Maybe we go this way. We get the same range this way, pretty much. I kind of would like to just get him up here somewhere. But it's like everything is in the contamination zone. So I think for right now, we'll start right there. Then we'll get, if we could get at least one guy up here. And then let's also get some storage here. Oh, that's too big. Let's see here. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Oh man, there's a no matter where I try to put it, it doesn't work. It's not working. So I guess we'll need to go with smaller piles. Which is fine. We'll just throw a couple of them up in here. Up in here, up in here. Let's just say logs for right now. Okay, and then let's also put a cut on some of this up in here so that we can start getting up into these layers up here. I mean, theoretically, we could put a lumberjack here. All right, how did our... That's still bad water. What do we got? 20%. So now we're starting to get some of that yucky stuff again. We have 13.3 days left in this particular little bad tide section. I'm almost... Have these guys stopped working? No, it's nighttime. I'd like to know what the filter rate is on this. At what level does it make these, like, impossible to run? Because they're still doing a pretty good job. They're at 50% productivity, 58, 56. You know, so their productivity is at least 50%, almost. How are we doing here? Let's go ahead and... Noise. We'll collect that up. No storage space available. How is no storage space available? I'm assuming it's... Is it the planes? Let's get this guy out of here. We'll go ahead and we will... Boosh, boosh, boosh. Boosh, boosh. Oops, not the path. Not the path. Alright, there we go. We's getting there. We's getting there. We might just choose to not take this little section out quite yet. Although it isn't necessary. But I think they are using it because there is a path there. So if we just run path this way, will they come along there instead? Although our beavers are getting wet fur by running through them. Alright, how are we doing? Building lacks no worker, 8. Building lacks materials, blocked by bad water, that's our shower, that's our test shower. Construction lacks material, I bet it's all of that dynamite. Alright, next up. They did get these in, but we don't have beavers currently available to work in them. We're up to 63 beavers, 5 babies. If we could get, that guy running, we would be able to move to the advanced breeding pods because it needs extract to work. That would be beautimous. And then we would have a built-in automatic adult population, which would be very nice. How are we doing on beds? We have 3 empty beds at the moment, so I think we need to open our next house for building. We will go ahead and we will unpause that rooftop terrace as well, because it could be a good thing for our health, our happiness, I should say. We did think about what we were going to put here on this corner. So I'm looking at this. Let's look at... We don't have any small monuments. We just have the gigantic ones, which we probably should think about. We could take this guy out. Or we could not build this guy and put in a monument. We put it in like kind of like in here somewhere, right? It would cover all of our housing. Of course, the beavers just built that. Let's see here. But what do we have in decorations that we haven't already put in? A bell? Or the clock? Ooh, that would hit quite a few of our houses. Let's do a clock. And yes, we just stole the science points we were saving for the tubeway for that, but it's all right. It's okay. It's fine. Now, I think for an effective tubeway, we probably should have dynamited a hole in the ground so that we could run our tubeway underneath of this housing and pop out here. I think we can still do that. I think we can do it from the back and just go down, 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 come out so that we can shuttle them all the way down to the industrial district. So maybe we come down here. We have another tubeway station somewhere in here that could connect into a tubeway station that is somewhere over in here. And we start kind of like getting our ducks in a row. And then we also can extend up to the metal layer. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. Oh my gosh, these beavers just like boosh. That's all marked for cutting, but I don't think they can reach it because of their... All right, we got this taken care of so we can get them up into here. Holy cats, they've already filled all of that lumber storage up there. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and throw some more trees in here to plant, and we are going to be planting oaks. We'll go ahead and we'll mark. They're not going to be able to do all of this, but if we just kind of throw that in there. Let's go ahead and get a little path and ladder up into this section. Right? And you're not marked to cut. Why can't I have the path thing? Thank you. All right. I am going to kick priority on that. We do have some creep here, so he's not going to be able to plant all of that. He can plant all the way back to there, though. We do have all the way back to there marked for cutting, and then I think once we have kind of like this in here, we come over here and we put in another forester over in here. Or maybe up here. So that'll require pathway to it. But I think that if we could get some guys up there and get another stack, a forester, and some over there. I'm also looking at this, that if we've got a tubeway, we could put in a tubeway station here, come up, and they'd be able to reach a workstation easier, or a workspace easier over here. So I think we're progressing nicely here. We are getting pretty close to end of episode here, so we got a few more minutes that we can keep chugging away here. He is getting those planted right now, though it's a little bit detrimental. I think, if I remember correctly, that this taps into our clean water source down here. But where does it go after that is the question. Could we... It pours down into that right there. So we could block that up, or we could divert a little bit of the water. The water never comes this high, though, because we divert it down here. Ooh, should we divert it higher? But then that means we wouldn't get water in here. A thought for another day. How we come in here? See, I think there's enough distance. Like, okay, right there you're seeing some bad water. But this whole pool of disgusting bad water is not affecting... Oh, yep, right in there. It's affecting this top tier. Huh. Huh. We're starting to dry out in here as well, which is not cool. So maybe this plan is not viable. We're starting to see the concentration of that bad water hyped back up. Yeah, see, we're up to 50%. So we're starting to see the bad water that was collecting at the start of this whole period. So it's like we have 4 days left on, what was it? Oh shoot, I forgot to check. 4 days left and we're up to 50% on that and climbing, which means that these pumps are going to start slowing down in their productivity. Although it looks like all the productivity went up, so I'm not 100% certain what the deal is with that. It's all right. It's okay. We've gotten a considerable amount of this dynamite in. We might be able to get that tier finished. I'm not certain. Did we get any of those new... No, we didn't. We just don't have enough beavers. What are you sitting on your butt for? Go find something else to do. I'm gonna go ahead and pause a couple of these. I'll leave a couple of those. These are full though, so we can't really... They're running into a bottleneck there. Can we throw in a couple more? Yes, yes, we can. All right. And then there's another thing. If we've got people working up in here, we probably want to feed and water them. So let's do a small cover tank there, and we will put in water. Then we will put in a couple of small warehouses and put the most popular foods. Well, maybe not the most popular. Let's do casabas in one. And man, we have a lot of berries. I guess we'll put berries. They probably aren't going to eat those, but who knows? And let's prioritize at least the casabas and, or the kohlrabis and the water. Berries, I don't really care if they put those up here. Oh yeah, this has completely dried out now. This is doing us no good. The only bright spot we have left, if you look at this, is going to be right there where that little hidden water source is. And we didn't do anything about our... We didn't do anything about our flooding issue over here. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that in the time that we need. Let's just pop priority on that and see if we can get that. If that's the case, I would like to come in here and kind of take some of that out, because we could still build upon the top of those. We might get it. All right, what are we up to contamination over here? 55%. Oh, hey, look, our dynamite is done, except for this. What is planks? You would think with the way we're going through planks, we wouldn't have a problem with plank storage. Do we have another one? No, we've got them all full. Well, that's not cool. Can we skank from somebody else? Let's just go ahead and put planks here. That's the log one, and it's not even close to full, so I think we're fine. Eggplant rations, we do have 300. Berries are taking over the world. Kohlrabies as well. Fermented cassava. Canola seeds. Woo! All right, there we go. Now, oh, they did get all of that in. So here's our deal. We need to open that. And I think if someone told me correctly, what I need to do is come in here and create a step down. That means we're gonna need to take out some of the stuff that we just did. And all right, let's see here. Why do the impermeable floors look? Oh, because I'm on a different level. It's fine. I'm like, wait a second, I thought we had impermeable floors in here. All right. We should have probably come in and take out that block too, so it had a block this way and a block this way to come, but we did not. So shall we see if we can open this without flooding everything? Let's get a little better view. I think we're still going to flood everything. Yep. It equalizes fairly quickly, but we still flood. I think we need to take out this block right here. And that would open that up to come out this way and this way, instead of making it go up and then doing that. Hopefully we don't contaminate everyone, because there is bad water right there sitting on the path. All right, there we go. Water is good to go. Let's go ahead and pop this up, and then we can start with the, this goes to 1.7. This one comes down to 5.5. This one goes to what, 0? All right. There we go. And then let's also take this back up to 9.5. And that is our time for today. We've made it through another bad tide. We have the ability to, oh, we need one more dynamite. I was gonna say blow this whole little pop stand. Oh, look, centrifuge is running. But we're not so smart and we didn't give it any storage. So let's go ahead and plop a, we're probably gonna close that off, but I think we could get away with, oh, he needs a platform. Maybe we could put a platform there, and then we put in this guy for immediate storage right across the, boosh. Okay, cool. Very good, very nice. I'm very happy with what we accomplished today. I know it doesn't seem like it's burned the world down, but in closing, let's just do this. Oh, wow. Because a bit of a lag spike there. We'll go ahead and get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. Beautiful. Yeah. So go down in the comments. Let me know if I put in a mechanical pump here, right in here, will that churn out fresh water on the other side for us? Because I would like to see if that's possible, because this is going to be a problem. Because that's going to be hovering at the 40% for a while. Until you can see here in the little mini map, we still have a huge chunk of red in here that is contaminating the fresh. And so it's going to be a good, I don't know, like 10 days before we get any of that fresh water down here. And it's still going to be mixing in with some bad water that kind of gets hung up in the system up there. So we still are not at the point where we can get all the way up there and kind of do a diversion on the bad tide. So we're just going to have to do it again. Just keep plugging away at figuring out how to get rid of some of this stuff. But let's lay this down so I don't forget the next time. All right, there we go. Beautiful. Oh, they're already plopping it in. All right, I'm gonna say goodbye here now, and thank you for watching. As always, I do appreciate your eyeballs on my video. I know there's plenty of people that you could watch, and I appreciate you coming to watch me. I hope that you have enjoyed this one, even though it was a bit of a slower one. And we will see you in the next one. Oh, the clock is done. Bye-bye. Oh, and if you're in the US, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, since I'm recording this on Thanksgiving Day. See ya. Bye.